Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shenanigans. How are you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am excited for tonight's debate. In fact, we're going to be ending the show an hour early so we can all attend tonight's debate. I hope you guys in the audience will be watching along with the rest of us. But in less depressing news, how's your week been?
It's been busy. Actually, a cool thing this week is I got to see Justin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he in town, or were you up in Sacramento?
He was zipping through. He had gone to Disneyland, and on the way back, he stopped by, and we got some pizza together, and I invited him to spend the night, but they had to get back to their cats.
Of course, of course. Very cool.
Yeah.
So, well, let's just hop into game. I have an adventure prepared for today. It was prepared with a larger party in mind, but if anyone can do it on their own, it's you. So if you don't have any player-driven goals that you'd like for today's episode of Shenanigans, I have an adventure ready for you.
I specifically decided that this time I was not going to have any big overarching plans.
Really?
No ulterior motives, giant schemes, anything.
I don't believe you in the slightest.
But it's true.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. But, okay. So, why don't you describe your character to us? Who are you?
My new character is Melissa Silvertongue. She's just turned 180 and ready to go out and take on the world as a young elvish woman. And she's good with Martha.
Now, this is Corey's relative?
Cousin.
Silvertongue is the shared last name here, right?
Yeah, cousin. I mean, he was nice and all, but he and the whole Newton side of the family were a bit sinful. Super sinful.
Super sinful.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what...
But not me. I'm Melissa the Chaste. Who needs sex when you've got Martha? And I don't miss it at all.
Oh, dear. What does Melissa Silvertongue look like?
Well, she has long, beautiful, silky black hair tied up in a big long braid, and she's just a beautiful young elven woman, fresh-faced, ready to show the world what Martha's all about.
Fantastic. All right. So you are sitting here in the tavern, in Shenanigans, looking around at all these things. You are fresh-faced and brand new to this area.
Okay, and so looking at the character sheet, did you see the pets?
I did not review your character sheet at all.
Of course you didn't. All right, so I took the animal companion, decided this time to go with an elven dog.
Elven dog?
Akushi.
Is that a thing?
Yes, Akushi. Cooshee. They're basically more like a dog than the way an elven cat is like a super cat. At least as far as I could tell in the limited stat block, about the only thing special about them is that they only bark when there's intruders, and that if they hit with their hit with their paws, they can knock down a man-sized opponent, and yet no mechanic is given to determine if that happens.
This isn't... I should have reviewed the character. Clearly. What am I doing not reviewing Rob's newest character? This is in the elf subcategory? No.
I just looked on in your purple worm thing, under the monstrous manual. She ends up being into the mammals thing.
Okay. Because you can just pick any animal with the trait, right?
It either has to be a Kushi or an elven cat. Since I've done elven cat, I figured go with elven dog.
Okay, so it does specifically say Kushi.
Yes.
Known as the elven dog, they only bark when they're elven masters of danger. They can strike bipedal components with the front paws and knock down man-sized or smaller creatures.
with no mechanic, like.
Okay, have you rolled
Versus
hit points for your Kushi?
I haven't, and not even for myself, because I can't roll them unless it's in front of everybody.
All right, well, let's see some hit point rolls. Would you please roll your own HP? You're a cleric, so that's a D8. What is your con?
It's like 10.
All right, D8. All right.
Not bad.
Your dog has 3d8 plus 3 hit points. Of course. And 15 movement, but a sprint of 24.
Yes. Oh, below average. Oh, no. I guess that's actually about average.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
And it gets 3 attacks per round. 2 with its paws, 1 with its bite. Well. Okay. So,
right.
you and... What is your Kushi's name?
Virtue, because everywhere I go, Virtue is with me.
Wow. This is like Friar Morton Bixby all over again.
And I have one more pet that I wanted to be like the first pet that I've done an animal friendship on. Mm-hmm. It's only a 1/4 hit die, and I get to have up to 2 hit die. I just wanted to have a little weasel that I've trained to like fetch, like it's basically to come and to fetch shiny objects. And its name is Good Intentions.
What was the dog's name again?
Virtue.
Virtue and Good Intentions. And what is your mace named?
Because rascally little Good Intentions off gang of glay. My mace is named Consequences. Because sometimes people have to face consequences for their actions.
Okay, so you are here with your 2 pets and your mace named Consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting at...
There's more fun buried in the equipment list, but I'll let you
we'll get there, I'm sure. You're sitting there in the tavern. It's early morning. You are a cleric of Martha. You're an early riser. You want to do as much good as soon as you can in the day, I presume. So you're actually the first person in the bar. There's a couple other people starting to stagger in, but here you are, bright and chipper. Desmond has already served you food, and he's coming out, rubbing his head, looking around.
Bartender, sir.
Yeah.
I hear you have the best milk in the district.
Yeah. Shenanigans has good milk. We get it from Bessie. Best cow in the land. Would you like a glass?
I would love some.
Well, I will go send my servant to go get some fresh milk because today's milk hasn't yet been delivered. Perhaps you could run a little errand for me while I'm out.
Martha would certainly smile on that.
Good. So normally by this time, there's a woman in here. Her name's Gabrielle. She's a frequent...
Blonde carries a staff?
No, she uses an axe. Used to. Her fighting days are behind her. But she isn't here today, and I'm a little worried about her. She's always here bright and early to start her worship. She worships in here a lot. We accept all people of all kinds and all faiths and creeds. So I was wondering if you could go just pay a check-in on her and see if you could get her to come back. Business just isn't the same without her.
Excellent. I'd be happy to bring more followers of Martha here to Shenanigans.
She prefers Jexel. Are you familiar with Jexel? Of course you are. You're a cleric. You must know of Jexel, the god of luck and wine.
Oh my gosh, she's in need of saving, isn't she?
Well, she's in need of prayer, and she needs to pray in here. So, could you round her up for me, please?
I'll bring her here and we can pray together.
Yeah, you guys can praise Jexel together. She lives, and he gives you directions to her house.
All right, then.
Thanks. What was your name again?
I'm Melissa. Melissa Silvertongue.
That name sounds familiar. Did you have
Does
a...
it? We've never met,
No. Alright.
but I'm
You
happy.
know, look,
to
you
meet
travel the world, you hear all sorts of names. It's probably... What? Silvertongue's probably a huge family, right? Like, every other elf is named Silvertongue.
Not every other.
You know, like 1 in 10 then. You know, it's a common last name, right?
Just in the Silvertongue family.
I like you, Melissa. Alright, well, go grab her, and by the time you come back, hopefully we can get to you some of Bessie here.
All right, let's save some souls.
Alright, take care there. And he waves you off as a few other people start to slowly file in.
All right, so having learned the lesson from every other character I've had who wandered around without armor, I'm going to go put on my armor, Faith, to go about my business every day.
Wow. Your armor's named Faith?
Yes.
And you're going to put on your armor to walk around town. To walk around
Absolutely.
the peaceful and quiet town.
How many of my unarmored characters have been killed in this peaceful, quiet town because they didn't have any armor and they were ridiculously easy to hit?
None of them, as far as I'm concerned. But that's neither here nor there. You have agency over your own character, and you don your armor and head out into town. You walk away around through it, and eventually you come across the house that is supposed to belong to this woman named Gabrielle.
What does it look like?
That's a small little cottage. There's a little front yard with an untended garden that's growing pretty heavily with weeds. The house could use a new paint job. Some of the shingles are slanted on the roof. The windows are all intact. The fence is in good condition. There's a tree growing from the small backyard that you can't quite see because the house is blocking you. It looks like a maybe 1 or 2 room cozy little cottage. Probably 1 room cozy little cottage with a thatch roof. Half timber frame.
All right. So, is there like a little front gate and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go up to the front gate and I'll call over towards one of the windows. Gabrielle! Gabrielle!
Make me a perception check, please.
D20 plus 26.
There's no answer, but you hear a thwacking sound coming from the backyard.
I wonder if she's fallen and she can't get up. Maybe she's aged. I'll head around to the backyard.
Okay. You see in the backyard a woman, probably late 30s actually, standing up in kind of some slightly rusted chainmail, holding a mace in one hand, looking at this tree, kind of wobbling a little bit. You notice on the tree there's like this chalk outline of a person, like a police chalk outline on the tree. She takes her mace and slams it into the tree, and then steps back and looks clearly a little unsteady on her feet.
That's no way to chop down a tree.
Who goes there? You. What are you doing in my yard? She says, raising the
Gabrielle?
mace. Yes, I'm Gabrielle.
Well, that's good news. Not the only good news there is. But anyway, I've been sent from Shenanigans to find you so you can start saving your soul.
Shenanigans? Desmond sent you?
Yes.
That old fuddy-duddy. Tell him I ain't coming. Tell him I ain't drinking no more. I'm done with the booze. I'm done with the sauce. I ain't paying his bills anymore. He can find a new customer.
You aren't going to drink at Desmond's bar no more?
I ain't drinking ever again. I have been drunk for... When did the king die? I've been drunk since then, and I ain't
Which
going
one?
back.
So many have died. You should be an
Well,
elven king. They last much longer.
elves. Prissy little Nancy's.
Yes, we are.
You don't look like an elf. Do
Oh,
you?
I should.
I thought elves only had 2 ears. Why do you have 3 ears? And 2 noses? Noses?
I must confess, I don't know. Are you sure you haven't been drinking?
Not since the sun came up. Not since I condemned Jexel and all of his
And
shenanigans.
all his works? That is the best news. The best news I could ever hope to hear.
Wait, are you an elf? You kind
I
of look
am.
a little.
So I look, I'm like, I took the noble kit. She's noble. Her clothes and everything cost more. You know, it's nice quality armor she's wearing. You know, with a nice cloak.
Mhm.
And supposedly I get a +2 reaction bonus from NPCs for being noble, or the ones that don't like to get yelled at. I go, I'm an elf.
Well, Missy Elfie, you tell Desmond I ain't being his drunk no more. He can find a new slob to pay all of his bills.
Or maybe he should find no one at all.
Yeah.
And maybe
You
he
tell
should
him,
serve some
sister.
of that good milk, more of that good milk that he serves. Bessie's milk, I've heard. Have you had it?
Bessie's best. Yeah, I heard of it. Ain't. Well, I had it in a, what do you call it, a white goblin the other day. Good drink.
In a white goblin? I
Yeah,
guess
a little
they live
vodka,
underground,
little
so they don't
milk,
get much sun, do they?
little vodka, little milk, little Kahlua, white goblin. No, not familiar.
I speak goblin, but I don't know any of those words, recognize any of them as goblin.
No. White goblin's a mixed drink. You see, you get 1 part vodka, 1 part Kahlua, and
I thought
1
you were
part
talking
Bessie's
about an
milk.
actual goblin.
No.
Silly me.
It's a good. No, I'm done with the drinking and the Jexels and the wine and the goblins. I'm done.
That's great. Is there a temple of Martha around here? We should go and praise Martha for your deliverance.
Martha.
Yes, Martha.
Can't. What a worthless god.
What do you mean a worthless god?
She gives people life, but doesn't give them a way to defend themselves, and so people like me have to defend people like you by taking life from other people. Martha just creates us to suffer. She's the god of suffering.
What do you mean she doesn't give a way to defend themselves? I'm a priestess of Martha, and I make sure that evil always faces consequences.
Well, why don't you start with the evil that runs Shenanigans? You know how
Desmond?
long
Is
that
he
man
evil?
has... Yeah, Desmond's evil. He's given me half-price drinks for years just to keep me in there drinking every day, all day, every day. And why do you think he sent you out after me today?
A bastard.
Uh-huh, he wants me drunk.
Well, he's just a
Yeah.
crumb bum. That's what he is.
Well, I think Crumbum's a little soft, but maybe he is too. So you go tell him, sister.
I will, and then we'll go to the Temple of Martha and give thanks.
Well, first I gotta get back in my fighting form. I got an evildoer to slay.
You do?
I do.
What's this evildoer done?
killed my sister.
Just dead killed?
Was there another kind?
Wow. She just killed your sister. I'm sorry, that's horrible.
That was a long time ago. Whenever the last king died.
So she killed your sister a long time ago? So how come you're waited till now to go after her? This person who killed your sister, did she like run away?
No, the killer's still here in town. But I've been mourning for years. And now I'm getting my shit together and I'm gonna go kill that damn dirty.
You must have loved her a lot to mourn for so long.
Maybe it hasn't been years. I don't know. What year is it?
Why, it's the 12th year of the second Elven King.
I don't know what that means. It might have been weeks, or months, or years, or... How old am I?
Who is this person who killed your sister? What happened?
That's... personal. But you go tell off Desmond, and maybe you and your Martha thingy can come and help me right some wrongs and slay some evils.
Well, that's what I was thinking, is if she was evil, maybe this person who killed your sister, maybe I could help, but I would need to know more about it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm waiting.
She seems like she's had it made up her mind. Yes.
Okay, so what happened?
Oh, you want to know now? Are you sure?
Yeah, I want to know what happened, so I can know about this evil
Look,
doer.
my sister's a good person. She's always been a good person. Was. And good people get caught up in bad things sometimes, and I hear
like the
once...
whole Newton side of the family.
Well, I don't know what Newton is. That figgy thing? The pudding that you eat?
Pudding-like substances are sometimes involved.
Yeah, that stuff. So she gets co-opted, corrupted,
Corrupted?
confused. She gets confused, gets mixed up in wrong things, and does something bad. And
What did she do?
she was stealing.
What did she steal? Like gum from the corner store?
No. She stole something good.
Did she steal a case of ale from the store? I've heard sometimes.
What are you?
No,
What
no,
sort of
so
little
good.
sissy
Yeah.
pants are you? What sort of crimes do you get
I'm not
involved
a
in?
sissy pants.
Alright. My sister was...
Farendir's school for elven girls was hardcore.
What? No. Look, my sister had tried to take something that wasn't hers from the sheriff in town, and he cut her down in the streets like a dog in the streets, like you would gun down a dog in the streets. And
The sheriff killed your sister?
he says she was robbing him. Everyone in town says she was confused and doing the wrong thing when she was a good person, and the sheriff cut her down.
So what do you mean she was confused? You think somebody controlled her with magic?
I don't know. Maybe. That sounds like something that could happen, right?
It can happen. I've read a lot of stories where that happens.
It probably did happen. My sister was a good person. She'd never take anything from the sheriff, or anyone for that matter. She's a good-hearted person.
Then the real killer is whoever cast that spell on her.
Well,
That's the one who got her killed.
First we gotta kill the sheriff. Because the sheriff killed my sister, and that's where you gotta start, at the beginning. Right?
But
when everything falls apart, you go back to the beginning, and that's where you start? I heard a wise man say that once.
The beginning is someone cast a spell on her, and then the end was the sheriff. Because the sheriff was doing what he would do if somebody tried to rob him. That's what a sheriff would do, right?
So you're saying
it's the person who cast the spell, who knew what would happen.
You sound a lot like Desmond. He's telling me that the sheriff was just doing his job, and I shouldn't go cut him down in the street like a dog, like he did my sister like a dog. And you're sounding an awful lot like him. Are you trying to get me drunk?
Martha, no, I would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even drink the sacramental wine. I just substitute grape juice.
So you're a bad cleric?
Well, I don't think so. I think I'm a pretty good cleric. I was top of my class at Madame Farandier's.
She sits down and cross-legged in the middle of the backyard.
But we should figure out who cast the spell on your sister. That's the person who got her.
Well...
Did she have enemies? Magical enemies?
She was pretty depressed.
Were any of them mummies?
No. What?
Because some of them have powers.
No. Look. She was depressed and mopey and young, only 16 years old. Such high hopes for the world, but just down in the dumps.
16 in human years?
Well, what other years are there?
Elf years?
How long is an elf year?
Well, like I'm 180, but that's just starting out and getting out of school for an elf.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what that means.
It means I'm finally an elven adult and ready to go out and make my own decisions and find my way in the world. Look out, world. Here comes Melissa.
You most certainly do not look like an adult to me. You seem more like a kid.
I moisturize.
Moisturize? Definitely a Melissa sort of thing to do.
Aloe.
Uh-huh. Well, look, alright, so my sister was young.
I know all about herbs. I can find some for you.
No. She was young. You have any juniper berries? I love the taste of juniper. She's 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Such high hopes for the world, but she was down in the dumps and all mopey-like. And then, that day that the sheriff...
The dumps and mopey?
Yeah.
What got her that way?
Well, I don't know. She's just, 16-year-old girls, they're just down in the dumps and mopey.
Did a boy she liked make eyes at another girl?
You think I care about these sorts of things? I got axes to swing and maces to swing and, you're missing the substantial details here. She was sad, and then the day that...
But how did she get sad?
Well, come on, she's... Remember, it was a long time ago.
How long ago was it?
I'm not sure. What year is it?
It's the 12th year of the Second Elven King.
Well, look, ask Desmond what year it is. Anyway, she's down in the dumps. She's all depressed. And then one day she has this personal breakthrough. Sunshine's beaming out of her ass. She's gleaming all over the place. She's happy as a baby.
Martha came into her life.
I don't think Martha had anything to do with it. But yeah. She found her own personal Martha. Well, if you ask me, Reluna's more like it. Goddess of passions, you know. Passion? You've never had any passion in your life, have you?
I didn't do well on that part in the comparative religions class. We kind of skipped Reluna.
Luna's the most important god after Jexel. No, before Jexel, Luna's the most important god. You ain't got passion in your life. No. If you don't have passion in your life, then what's life living for?
For helping your fellow people, for bringing fertility and life to the land, for healing that which has been inflicted upon us, and bearing it steadfastly.
Oh, brother. All right, so she found Martha, or whatever. All right. And that was the day she died, was killed by the sheriff. The day that she got happy is the day he killed her.
So you said she was depressed, but if she was happy, why would she steal?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think she did. I think the sheriff killed her and then said she was trying to steal.
Well, why did the sheriff kill her? What did he?
Because the sheriff's a low-down, dirty scoundrel who just killed her.
He kills a lot of people in the streets, does he?
Killed my sister, and that's all I need to know. And you see this outline on this tree? Well, that's the sheriff, and she stumbles to her feet. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to the sheriff as soon as I get my form back.
That's the sheriff?
It's a representation of the sheriff. Look, you elves are really just don't understand. I'm going to bash his head in like this. And she swings the mace at the tree and, like, kind of hits the haft on the tree, and the mace kind of jiggles out of her hand. And she stumbles around and goes, no, like this. Hold on.
Is he a troll all lumpy like that?
Look, kid, you're getting in my way. Alright, you're too young to understand. And I gotta get revenge on the man who killed my sister, and that sheriff is gonna die.
I think we need to get revenge on whoever cast that spell on your sister.
Well, why don't you go find that person and let me know who it is, and we can go kill them after we kill the sheriff.
Well, you said she was depressed, and then all of a sudden, she was suddenly happy?
Uh-huh.
We should find out what happened. You said that Reluna did that. Was there a priestess of Reluna that did that cast a spell? Clerics can cast command spells, as you would know, and make people do things that they wouldn't want to do.
You know, I swore when the sun came up that I wasn't going to have another drink ever again.
And that's a good thing.
But listening to you, I think I need another drink.
I do too. Let's go directly to the farm and get that Bessie milk.
I'm going to stay here and practice my swings against Mr. Sheriff, she says, pointing at the tree. And, so peppy.
Thank you.
That's not a compliment. When someone calls you peppy, it's not a compliment.
Sure it is. It means upbeat and happy.
Oh, I'm gonna need a couple of drinks. Hold on, let me... She wanders back into her house, leaving the back door wide open.
You know, if you want, I mean, I don't think the sheriff, if it does turn out that he was just killing people, I don't think he's just going to stand there like a tree. We could spar a little.
I'll get my form back. It'll just take me a couple hours before I can hit the tree again. But I'm a great warrior. I've been fighting monsters my whole life.
Really? What monsters? What's the biggest one you killed? Did you ever fight any mummies?
Why do you keep asking about mummies?
I don't.
What is it with you and mummies? Do
I
you
don't know
have
anything
some
about
like? Do elven?
I don't.
Do
I don't
elves
think
have
you
mummy
should just
issues?
go around talking to people and accusing them of having mummy issues.
You're a queer one, Melissa.
We learned about that in class in Martha, and I don't think I am. Being chaste means that I don't do anything with anybody.
Well, you want to do something with me, apparently. So
No,
why
I
don't
don't.
you?
I'm sorry if I made you think that.
You want to help me kill the sheriff, right?
Oh, okay. Well, I want to help you find who did that to your sister. You said all of a sudden something changed. Like somebody, like a priestess of Reluna cast a spell on her and then maybe did a command spell on her. And
Look, I don't know nothing about magic, but maybe the sheriff did something to her before he killed her. Maybe the sheriff put a spell on her before he cut her down in the streets like a dog.
He's a wizard?
He could be a wizard. I don't see why he could, and probably not a wizard though. Probably a warlock, or a witch, or a demonic sorcerer.
I don't think they have these classes in this edition.
Well, what's the difference between a witch and a wizard, other than a witch is a bad wizard?
Well,
And
you
female.
get the hexes.
What's a hex other than a spell?
It's a couple of editions later.
All right. I don't read well. I don't know what a book you're talking about of these editions. Maybe it's one of your mummy issues again, coming up.
I really feel like it's rude to keep telling someone they have issues with mummies when they've explained to you that they don't.
I think it's very rude for someone to show up in my backyard, insert herself into my personal life, and then tell me that my personal vendetta against the man who murdered my sister is wrong and I should stop. Who invited you over here?
No, I was saying we should find the real person.
No,
the person
no,
who cast
no,
the spell on her.
Yeah, you're the insulting one. You're the one.
That priestess of Reluna that you said cast on her.
I said no. You look, all right, Tramp. You gotta go. You have to go. I'm kicking you out of my house.
Tramp?
I rescind your invitation, vampire.
Don't call me that. They're bad and they don't understand love.
Like you do?
Of course I do. Martha's all about love.
Nerul is all about love and family, and I guess she might be Martha's daughter, but so is Reluna, and Reluna's all about passion, and what greater form of love is there than passion? It's the purest
the love
form.
of a worshiper for Martha.
Oh my god, I think I'm gonna puke, and it's not because of the alcohol this time. Get out of my house, you nosy, trampy elf. With your goody two shoes. Are you wearing two shoes? Yeah, you goody two shoes, and
Why, thank you.
that's not a compliment. Goody two shoes and peppy are not compliments. They're
Yes, they are.
sarcastic insults. Why people drink. You're
If
why
it's
I
an
drink.
insult, then why did I get voted most peppy at Madame Farandir's?
I think you just got insulted by the whole school.
It wouldn't be a prize and a special thing in the yearbook if it was a bad thing.
You're aware of the the champion awards, where they give out the awards to the best mercenaries each year for the most dangerous task undertaken and the greatest success with it. Champion awards, classic thing every year, down in Wicthron Renta. Right?
I don't know about those.
Well, they also give out at the same time the Kobold Awards for the worst mercenaries. I think your little Peppy Award is the equivalent of the Kobold Award.
Well,
And you just too dumb to know.
I think you're wrong. If you look in a dictionary, you will see that Peppy is a very positive thing.
Look, I don't read too good, but I know the world. Look, you're so, look at you. You're what, like 20 years old? Not even. You're what, like 16, 17?
180.
Not 180. If you're 180, you'd be wrinkly or dead. I'm 36. 30, not, look, I am in my 30s, and I'm clearly much older than you are, alright? So.
I know, that's why I'll get you some aloe. Moisturize.
Get out of my house. Get out of my yard. Get out of my life. I don't want to see you again, and you tell Desmond I ain't drinking his drinks.
I'll get out of your yard, but only because this is your property and I respect the law and trespassing is wrong.
Then go.
I'm going.
Trampy trespasser.
I'm not Trampy, it's Melissa the Chase.
You're tramping all over my yard.
That's a clever use of the word, and I congratulate you on your verbal sparring. Come on, Virtue.
Virtue? You taking your virtue with you?
My Virtue goes with me everywhere, don't you, Virtue? And I reach down and pet Virtue, my elven dog. That's right. I think we talked about that before, but I guess the audience doesn't know about that, do they? Okay, so chat, I have an elven dog named Virtue and a weasel named Good Intentions.
Oh no, we did. That was in game. Yeah.
Did we? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was in game. Yeah. All right. So you head out, and where do you go?
I'm gonna go back to Shenanigans first.
Okay. So you're headed back to Shenanigans. I can't believe that. Oh, a natural 100 on a D100. When a pair of youths come up to you, and one of them comes up and like pushes you from behind, goes na 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 na, stupid elf, na na.
That is very unruly.
And while the youth is doing that, I still can't believe I rolled a natural 100. You only had a 3% chance to notice. The other one comes up behind you and clearly like cuts the strings of your purse and grabs it. And you notice, you completely notice, as she snatches your purse and then takes off skipping down the street, and the other one, nah, stupid elf, and then goes after her friend.
Okay, so I start chasing after the one that ran off my purse. And I'll go, you drop that right now, or you'll face consequences.
Kid gives a screech, and the two children, youths really, run off down the street in the direction of Shenanigans.
All right, go, Virtue, get back my purse.
Virtue's a weasel, right?
No, Virtue's the dog.
Are you having the dog attack the youth in the streets?
No, I told Virtue to get back my purse.
Does the dog understand, get back my purse?
I think they're pretty smart. They're not as smart as the elven cats. They're not like telepathic and
right.
Like a step below a small dragon. And there's also that whole totally undefined thing about them being able to knock down a man-sized creature with their paws.
Okay. All right, so your dog goes chasing after her. Why don't you make me an attack roll, 2 attack rolls for the dog's paws. The dog's just going to knock the kid down.
Okay.
+2 for back attack, and I think the dog already has +3 for...
Yes, so +5 total.
Mm-hmm.
So a 13 and a 10.
They both hit.
Oh, good.
And on, I think, most of the... Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to give the kid a saving throw versus death to avoid the knockdown. Because that seems what's fair to me. And the kid fails. Can you also roll me 2d4 damage?
So non-lethal?
Yeah, the dog can be doing non-lethal if it wants.
I mean, it wasn't like a kill command or something.
Right.
Or
Doesn't even knock the kid out. So the kid goes toppling in the streets, sprawling out, dropping the coins, which like fly out of her hand. The purse opens and spills across the street. Her buddy, who is running with her, stops for a moment, sees the dog, turns back, and then keeps running. And as the kid turns back to keep running, an armed man steps out into the streets, brandishing a sword, and cuts the kid off, pointing the sword at her, and says, "You there! Thief! If you move, take one step," and the kid by now has stopped. "I'll cut you in two." The kid just freezes. Hands in the air. And on that note, why don't we go to our first break? We'll see you guys on